Hi, welcome to Synoptic Gospels. My name is Sarah Warnock-Farrand, and I want to give you a brief introduction of who I am in case we have not had class together before we look into our course outline. So first, this is a picture of my husband and me. We got married about 5 years ago and have really loved being married. It's been a great adventure. As you can see, he's about 5 inches shorter than I am, which works out because his shoulders fit perfectly under my arm. We love that about each other. We live in Salem, Oregon, well, right outside of Salem in Independence. We love to disc golf together and have fun, different shenanigans. Mark has an 11-year-old son named Tyler, and I did not know how much I would love being a stepmom, but it has been just a really true joy. He's a great kid. He loves long distance running. He loves school, chess. He's really into Marvel superheroes right now. And his desire to be a paleontologist from when he was 5 has continued. He still is trying to figure out what steps to take to be a paleontologist. We have a puppy named June. Her full name is Junie B. Jones, after the children's book character. She's half Old English Sheepdog and half Standard Poodle. They call them sheepadoodles. As you can tell from this picture, she's very fluffy. This is us at the coast. She loves Tyler the most, I think. She's always very wiggly when she sees him. And this is a picture of my favorite heartbeats. So Mark and I and Tyler love to play games, board games, card games, video games. We're all about gaming. I love to motorcycle. It's one of my favorite things to do, and haven't been able to do it as much recently because of a string of migraines, but it's something that I want to get back to. This is a picture of my motorcycle. And then finally, I care deeply about human trafficking. It's what I'm writing my PhD dissertation on. It's something that Mark and I have a vision to go into our communities and teach about sex trafficking in the U.S. So when we talk about various issues, human trafficking will come up for me just because it's been such a pivotal point of ministry and world change and life view for me. Next, let's look at our course outline. This is Synoptic Gospels, Spring 2019. You can reach me at my email address up here or my cell phone. You'll get the fastest response from me through texting, just because I don't check my email constantly, and like many others, I'm not one to answer the phone right away. I like to hear who it is first, but I can respond to texts immediately. So this is a class about the life of Christ as revealed in the first 3 Gospels, which are called the Synoptic Gospels. It's a 3-unit course. We have several objectives. I'm going to let you read through the program objectives by yourself. The course objectives are to describe the historical and cultural background of Palestine as it relates to the Synoptic period. You'll be recalling the events of Jesus' life and ministry, identify the major themes and distinctive features of each of the Gospels, each of the Synoptic Gospels, explain who Jesus is from both a historical and spiritual standpoint, conduct proper exegesis of Gospel narratives, parables, and themes, differentiate some of the issues for Synoptic studies raised by critical scholarship, interact with students and instructor-informed discussions to foster discipleship and communal growth. And then the last one is to apply the teachings of Jesus Christ to one's personal life and ministry. So there are several course requirements. The first is an assigned reading. At the end of the semester, you will be asked to honestly evaluate the percentage of the material read. There are weekly forum discussions, very similar to the forum discussions you've had in other online classes. Devotional reflection, there are 2 of these. they'll be done in a forum setting, but they will have a little bit of a different format so that you can be reflecting on what you've been learning through the scriptures in a more devotional way. There are 9 worksheet assignments due during this semester. There are 13 quizzes, and then there's a final exam that is closed book, closed note, while the quizzes are open book, open note, but timed. So here is how our grading breaks down. It's a pretty even spread, and you'll see that you really can't miss out on any of it to expect to get a good grade in the class. It's something that you need to come to the class with an understanding that you'll be providing a holistic reflection. We have 2 required textbooks. The first one is by Molina and Rohrbach. It's called Social Science Commentary on the Synoptic Gospels. And then our other text is by Mark L. Strauss called 4 Portraits, 1 Jesus. There is an online resource that we will be using. A couple years ago, I realized that the book I was asking my students to buy was online, so I stopped asking you to buy that. Instead, I'll show you the resource when it comes time to use it. It's a pretty cool thing for us to use. Course policies are pretty straightforward. Attendance and participation are mandatory. All assignments need to be neat, typed, proofread. I encourage you, if you have a difficult time with grammar and spelling, to have someone else read it beforehand, as not doing these things well will result in a decreased grade. Late work. I accept work that is up to 3 weeks late, with all work due on the last day of class. Each week the work is late, though, I dock 20% off the total points earned. So please do not make turning things in late a habit, just because your grade will severely suffer in the long run. And regarding late work, if you need an extension for something, please speak to me prior to the deadline. I can provide extensions on everything but the final, and I tend to be pretty lenient with this if you are communicating with me ahead of time. That's key. And then there are reading assignments that are to be completed prior to the forum discussions and must be completed to accomplish the assignments, both of which are due Friday. The quizzes are also due Friday, and you must have the reading done for that. And then, like I said previously, at the end of the semester, you will be required to give an honest evaluation of the percentage of the reading you accomplished. When it comes to disabilities, I am very happy to accommodate students that need help. It is important that you go through the Academic Affairs Office so that we can assess what kind of accommodations would be fair. So if you need to do that, I would encourage you to do it sooner than later. Now let's look at our course schedule. It's a little bit different than in some other courses. The first, third, and fifth weeks, you will be reading one whole book of the Bible. So Mark, Matthew, and Luke. Weeks 2, 4, 6, and beyond that, you'll be reading from the various textbooks that we have that will support what you've been reading in the Bible. So at the beginning, you'll have assignments due 1 week, and then the next week quizzes, and back and forth until I believe week 6. Week 8, when you will begin to have assignments and quizzes due at the same time. So the work is pretty even throughout. If you find that it's really uneven, please let me know. As I prepare this, I feel like it's pretty even, but I could be wrong. I always appreciate hearing from you guys. This class is designed to help you learn well, and if it's not doing its job, I need to know that. So our final week, there are no exceptions to late work past 4:15. You must complete your reading assessment by 4:15, and the final exam must be completed by then also. So that is a pretty basic view of our course outline. So when it comes to the first week's work, you'll see that we actually have quite a hefty load. The first thing I want you to do is look at this course outline video. Well done. The second thing I want you to do is make a post to the introductions forum telling us who you are and something that makes you tick. And if you find yourself in a class with people you've been in class with before, please tell us something about you that your classmates may not know about you. And so continuing on the Monday through Thursday, I'd like you to read Mark in one sitting. You'll probably have to revisit Mark, but for the first time, please read it in one sitting. And look at assignments 1 and 2 before you begin this process so that you know what to look for as you're reading. Due Friday are your initial posts to Forum 1, and you will be uploading assignments 1 and 2. And then due Sunday night at midnight, you will respond to 3 class members' posts in Forum 1. These posts, like in other classes, are to be substantive, well written, well thought out, kind, and loving above all else. So if you have any questions, please contact me. I'm an open book. I love sharing story. I love being a part of my students' lives. And I love having you be a part of my life. So know that I pray for you and that I'm cheering you on. And I want to be here as a resource for you on a number of fronts. So I look forward to spending more time with you in this class, and I look forward to seeing you in the introductions forum first. Thanks.